Hey everyone, just wanted to make a quick video regarding the Awakening update for Nier Reincarnation. This is probably one of the biggest updates in the game's history, to be honest, apart from probably the Mythic Slab update. So this is going to change quite a lot, some things for the better and some things for the worse, but overall I think it's better for the game in general. So firstly, I'm just going to open up my menu and sort of briefly show what the new Awakening feature is. So each character, when you draw a duplicate of them, so you'll get an Awakening Stone. So the very first time you unlock a character, you won't get the stone, but when you pull the second, third, fourth, etc. copies, you'll get a stone, as long as the handbooks that are used to ascend the character. So if I click on EX Lars, for example, on the Awaken tab, you'll see that there's 5 tiers, so you can awaken each character 5 times. The first and second awakening will increase the stats of the character. The third one is very important because it unlocks the third ability for the character. And the fourth slot will also increase the stats. So in terms of importance in awakening, for most characters the first 3 are the most important, and then the fourth and the fifth are just a bonus. However, the fifth awakening, when you fully awaken a character, will unlock an item known as debris. And for some characters, their debris are extremely strong, but the good news is you can equip them to any character once you've unlocked it. So there's some characters that really only need to be awakened 4 times because their debris are kind of suboptimal. But there's going to be some characters where awakening 5 times is extremely beneficial for all of your characters, given that you can equip the debris on anyone. So if I click on Lars's debris, for example, you'll see it's Whirlwind Guard, so it'll decrease the wind damage taken by 5%, which is okay, but not an amazing debris. If I go over to Celeb Gale, who's an example of a character with a really, really strong debris, look at that, increase in light damage of 30% for 45 seconds. That is insane, especially for PvP, if you're running her on a sort of light team. But I'll go over what each character's debris are towards the end of the video. Just want to go through some of the other updates. So Awakening is the new major feature. Unfortunately, the highest 4-star character awakening I have at the moment is 3 with Abstract 063Y and Abstract Orion. I haven't unlocked any 4-star debris items yet, which is a little bit sad. But lots of us will be able to fully awaken some of the 3-star characters, and their debris is fine as a fill-in. See this one here on 063Y increases HP by 8%. It can be useful for support characters in subjugation. I think this Lars increases... oh no, he's HP. There's a couple that increase attack. I think maybe this Demus, yeah. And an 8% increase in attack is pretty decent, so I think go for the characters with the Vigor bonus first, is what I'd recommend, if you're short on gold. It does cost 100,000 to awaken 4-star characters and 50,000 gold to awaken 3-star characters. In terms of the Dark Memory characters, because you can't pull dupes of them, you awaken them with these Dark Awakening Stones, which are unlocked at the moment by clearing high-level content. For example, the new Playful Seas quests. If we go over to that, if you finish the final EX Hard stage, you unlock one of those Dark Memory Awakening Stones. You can see I've already got it there. Okay, the other thing I wanted to quickly go through is this summer companion campaign. So there's going to be 6 new companions, and they're all pretty good, in all honesty. So if we look at this first one, we have a new book, which looks cool, by the way. It's decent, high HP, 340 damage, increases defense for 40%, so it's going to be great for tower. And then Illumina Shutdown. So this is one of the less good ones. There's some better ones further down. This new Water Bear Sadie has some great attack stats, but also recovers 40% of all allies' HP, which is 10% greater than the previous highest heal for a companion, I suppose. So that's the most healing you're going to get out of any companion, so that's already good. This spirit here has a Valiance ability, again, really good. Most spirits only buff attack by 10% from memory, and this one does it by 30% for 60 seconds, so this is a very, very good companion for wind. The only other companions that boost attack by 30% are the 2 dark books, so Grimoire Vice and the other one, I think it's Star and Song or something like that. We have a pod, it's gonna have a attack down skill, it's okay, it's not amazing. We have a new doll, which is gonna do a defense break of 25% for 60 seconds, so similar to the 2 bears we have, the light bear and the wind bear, so that's really good as well. And then another Valiance Dragon, which will increase attack by 10% for 60 seconds, which is decent. So we're definitely not going to be short of Valiance companions for subjugation now. There's a good 8 or 9, I think, off the top of my head, that can be used at the moment, which is great. And then lastly, thanks to the guys on Discord, a user was able to get some information off Japanese Twitter and things to find out what each character's debris does. I just want to cover some of the debris items that appear to be the strongest. So there's some 4-star characters which will give a 10% flat vigor bonus, so attack buff, which is decent. So Divergent Nier, Divergent Zero, Final Fantasy XIV Rion and Noel, and Abstract Lavania. That's a pretty solid debris item. But there's 2 other really good ones. So Lacrima Griff is going to boost attack by 10% for 60 seconds, which is great because you can extend that buff. And then Lacrima Lars will do a buff of 15% for 30 seconds, so also quite good. And then the agility buff. I thought the best agility buff debris items were Lacrima Fios, which is a 15% buff for 30 seconds, so that's going to be good for PvP. And Bloodless Noels, which is a 10% agility bonus for 60 seconds. And there's also 5 other characters which will give a small agility buff as well, listed on the screen. I'll show them up on the screen in the actual video. Then we have some interesting ones with a stat up and a stat down. So basically, the only useful ones for PvP and PvE are going to be the ones that boost attack at the cost of agility for PvE, and then attack at the cost of defense for both PvP and PvE. The best buffs are going to be for Abyssal Theo and Abyssal Demus's debris items. So they'll buff attack by 20%, Theo at the cost of agility, and Demus at the cost of defense, which I think will be really good for PvE. Then we have the elemental buffs. These are going to be mostly useful for PvP, but some of them could definitely be useful for subjugation as well. So as you can see, it starts with just a 10% buff for some characters, but goes right up to a 35% timed buff of 30 seconds for Summer Akeha and Eximus Lavania. So the timed elemental buffs, debris items, they're going to be really good in PvP. The reason why they won't be as good for subjugation is because of their time limits. Because subjugation rounds go for like a solid 2 minutes, you're probably going to run out of the buff by the time you get to the knockdown phase. So you want more of those permanent buffs. So that 15% New Year's Noel, the Bloody Demus, Celeb Griff, and Christmas Akeha, who again has a great debris item. So a good character, Christmas Akeha. But in terms of arena, Summer Akeha's 35% increase to water damage is going to be insane. So if you've pulled a lot of her, you're incredibly lucky. We also have Christmas Lavania with 35% buff, and then Celeb Gale with a 30% timed buff to light damage. Both really good. Celeb Rion and Summer Rion have a timed 25% buffs for their respective elements, and then Bloody Lars and Bloody Gale have 25% buffs for their elements too. Bloody Saru, F66X, and Lavania also have 20% buffs, so Bloody Lavania proving to be really good once again. Lastly, we have some skill cooldown type debris items, which sort of fall on some of the newer characters like the Summer Gale and I think, is it Summer F66X as well? Yeah, she's also there. These can be pretty useful if you're going for a like a AoE attack in PvP, for example Zero or Abstract 063Y, trying to get that off early. Or for going for a double character skill in Subjugation. So Summer Gale and Celeb Noel kind of had the best buffs there. Christmas Theo, Celeb Argo, Celeb Saru, and Summer F66X. Those ones, the ones I've mentioned, are kind of the best buffs. So if we go back over them, the Vigor buffs, the Agility buffs, the Attack Up buffs at the cost of Defense or Agility. Just note that the Agility down is not good for PvP. The Elemental buffs, they're all really good. The time ones, particularly for PvP, and the permanent ones will be probably good for Subjugation. And then lastly, the skill cooldowns may or may not be useful. I'll be interested to see how useful the skill cooldowns are given kind of how small they are, but I'm sure they'll get use. So that's a quick little update / thoughts on some of the new content and the awakenings. My overall opinion is that the debris items and the new abilities are really interesting and they're going to change up the game, which is always great. The only thing that kind of sucks is that free-to-play players aren't going to be able to awaken anywhere near as much as pay-to-win players, which is fine. This game's already very free-to-play friendly, so I don't have too much of an issue with it. And I don't think 4-star debris items are going to completely ruin the game for free-to-play players. Like, they're definitely going to be helpful, but not to the point where we can't compete as free-to-play players. Alright, I might leave that video there. If you have any thoughts on the awakening, let me know. Plenty of what I said could turn out to be completely wrong, so I'm really interested to see which debris items are going to be useful. And which characters are now going to be great with their third abilities. Alrighty, I'll catch you guys later.